going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a real special guest in the building. Listen, this is one of the founding members of the Indignation Collective. Listen, she has a brand new EP out called Be Somebody. Listen, you know who we have in the building today? We have Sevana in the building today. What's going on, my sister?
I'm doing all right.
All right.
Well, thank you for that very lovely intro.
Yes, I'm glad you like it because I know you set the tone as soon as you actually start the interview, so you want to make sure that you start on the right note. You know what I mean?
That's facts. Thank you for being so patient today.
You only get what you want. You could only win with patience. And somebody like you, of all people, when we get into this interview, they'll totally understand what I mean by that also.
Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Good.
All right. Okay. What part of Jamaica did you actually grow up in, and what actually attracted you to music in the first place?
I grew up in Westmoreland, so that's the west end of the island in a town called Savannah. What attracted me to music in the first place? I don't know. It was just something that was around, and I remember just being very comforted by it. You know what I'm saying? And so I paid attention to that, not even consciously paying attention to it, but subconsciously I was paying attention to music since I don't even know, since I could hear, I guess. But honestly, one of my very first memories is a musical memory. I was by my father's house and Carrier Candle was playing. I don't know what year that came out in, but that should give you an idea of how old I was because I'm born in the 90s. Yeah. And I just remember feeling very warm, like very soothed by it. But
yeah. And then you liked it, so when did you actually discover your voice then?
I think I discovered my voice when my mother said I had a good voice. My mother don't give out compliment like that, you understand? So if she says something nice, then we just kind of pay attention. So I was around the table, we're singing. It was Sunday dinner or Sunday breakfast, I don't remember which one, but I was singing along to the cylinder and I remember it. And she was like, wow, Shari, you have a good voice, man. You know, and I was like, okay. And because I'd always been singing in the bathroom and she'd always be telling me to be quiet. So I never thought that she thought I sounded good. So when she just said that, I was just like, okay, well, I guess I have a good voice. You know, I believed her.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So then let me ask you this. What does SLR mean to you?
SLR is honestly the beginning of this whole musical journey, right? Because when a part of SLR, I was the S in SLR. It was a group of us, 3 girls, right? My God, it was rough because I didn't really know how to sing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about harmony, or honestly, even how to be a team player. Because I'm a loner. Right. Just because I was just kind of weird and people never really understood me immediately. So I kind of ended up being on the fringes throughout high school and just growing up, you know. So being kind of in this group now all of a sudden where I didn't really know the girls, it was so hard, so difficult. But honestly, it was a training ground for who you're seeing in front of you here. And the fact that we can do interviews as decently as I can right now. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so SLR was a group that was put together, or you guys came together organically?
You know, here's the thing. It was kind of all right. So I was going to Manning's at the time, and we had the same class, me and R in the group, right? Roshana. I was Shari, right? That's the name my family calls me, actually. And it was a free period, and we end up start singing, and then she find out somebody could sing. This is Roshana, and say, "Hey, you can sing, and me can sing," and we ended up kind of hanging out. And then we end up till I say, "Oh, am I getting the Rising Stars?" And she said, "Yeah, man, you know, sir, we could have entered together. I have this friend where she can sing too. She lived beside me. I'm a neighbor, XYZ. I'm best friend." So I was like, "All right, make it try, we'll go then, right?" So we ended up going and applying together, but I didn't really know them like that, right? I kind of just knew of her through class, but even then she wasn't like my friend, you see what I say? So it was kind of like, it felt like we were thrown together, even though it happened through school and organically. It wasn't like digital Rising Stars put it together. We were together, but I didn't really know them is what it was.
Got you. So then, okay, you guys did SLR, you guys did the Digicel Rising Star. After that, where was the next musical move for you from there?
Well, the next musical move was me kind of learning how to sing. So I started, no, for real. No,
Mhm.
I started, Brett Cap, not Brett Cap, Brett Manning, one of them. He's a vocal trainer on YouTube, and he has free lessons that is just episodes. I'm gonna start, do that. I'm gonna start sing. I'm gonna start take studio time, right? For go learn how to properly record songs, breath control, yeah, just figure out the whole thing, putting up covers on my SoundCloud, writing songs, and then Protoje was having a live from Kingston performance, right? Because I just been like, I was actually at one time too publishing YouTube videos of just me singing covers, right? Yeah, and so Protoje did have live from Kingston Pegasus edition, and Mr. Sim did have an open call for people who could open the show for him, right? So I end up sending him one cover up on my SoundCloud, and he messaged me on Twitter. And I was like, no, but it's not real. Yeah, no, but then I ended up meeting him, and I was like, oh, this is real. And I explained to him what my musical vision is. And at the time, thinking I had a musical vision, which, you do. So let me not dismiss that. You do have your own musical vision at every stage of your life. But anyway, so I ended up talking to him, and just the way how he was respectful is what I thought was valuable. So may I say, because you want to make sure that when you enter into a relationship with people, just professionally, it needs to be one where respect is given, right? So yeah,
And that's what works. And when did you actually meet Protege? Do you remember the year?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
And that's when Indignation was formed?
No, his band Indignation was a band that he'd been touring with for some time. In the Collective is
Mhm.
where is the label, and I think that was formed somewhere around 2016 or 2015, but properly 2016. I might be wrong though. Don't quote me, but something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what were some of the first projects that you guys started to actually work on when you
Well,
first got together?
Bit too shy. Was my first single ever, like that I released to the world. Not the first song I ever wrote, but the first single. And then I was featured on the Ancient Feature album. He did his project, obviously Ancient Feature are part of it. I have several singles, Justice, Sometime Love, Chant It, Nobody Man. I feel like I'm missing one. What?
Mhm.
Maybe I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But anyway, Holland Pool too, right? But yeah, so those are the projects, and then obviously he released this. He released, I think, royalty free, and his latest work, No Matter of Time, Lila's music. Biggest fan. Where I'm coming from, her EP.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so a body of work, things.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff going on there. All right, because I know, as I said, you're one of the first, because I consider you almost like a only child of the label at that time there, because it was only you and him as artists, and then
Yeah,
Leela came along, and then Jazz came along after.
yeah,
How was it when Leela came into the camp? Now, were you and it was you and Protege for so long
yeah.
alone, and then Leela came in? How was it, and how did she fit in right away?
No, she fit in right away. She assimilated really, really quickly. Very lovable spirit and energy. So it just never took any time at all. She fit in.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like a, I don't know how else to explain it other than family. You see what I'm saying? And in all the ways that a family is family. So the good, bad, and the ugly, right? Um, but yeah, that's really what it is. The same issues that you might have with your brother, your sister, your mother, same issues that we have. Yeah.
Definitely, because I seen you guys really function as a unit when I watched the you guys on BBC One Extra, the Rock and Groove.
Yeah.
That right there, it seemed like everybody just knew what to do. There was no stopping, no starting on, no your turn. Everybody knew when to jump in and when to jump out. Wicked,
Yeah.
wicked performance.
No, I love. Oh, that's what. Yeah, people love that one, and I think people love it because it was such a natural thing. You see me I say, like, it organic, and Yeah, it was just some vibes. I was just it's just fun. We do that though as children growing up. We just chip in and chip out with just different artists. You understand?
Mhm.
And perhaps that's like Jamaican thing too, where we kind of just have clashes for no reason out of nowhere. So yeah, yeah, it was just very organic. Nobody was pretending to be anything or other than just enjoy the music.
Mhm.
And yeah, every time somebody asks me and talks to me about it, I think about how special it was because me never really realized it's special until after me I
Yeah.
watch for me I say, wow, this is really like you know clean energy that's coming from us there. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could see it because you guys gave them your original songs on the rhythm, but you guys also went back and gave the Dennis Browns, the Gregory Isaacs, the Barris Hammond. It's like, no, 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 wait, I got
Yeah.
mine, I got mine. It was so
Yeah.
amazing to see that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, I mean, no problem. And what I want to talk about too is I've really seen you blossom from when you put out your first song, Too
Yeah.
Shy, to
Yeah.
right now. It's almost like if I could have an analogy, it would be going from Little House on the Prairie to Sasha Fierce. You know what I
No,
mean?
no, you're right. I mean, the thing is, right? This journey has been a long one. It's been a long one. It's been so many lessons, trauma, celebrations, victories. So honestly, what you're seeing is just me evolving through all of that. And it sounds like a very picturesque way of putting things, but yeah, it is an evolution. It truly is. I just feel no more than ever that I have to represent myself honestly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving ear to anybody telling me what I should try and how I should sound and what I should look like. Because it's not really business what people have to say at this point. But you understand because you within yourself, especially
Mhm,
after going through heavy life events, right? You
mhm.
kind of just understand more about yourself and more of what you are and what you aren't. So because it's like try honor the parts of me that are actually me without overthinking it at the same time. It's a balance, it's a balance, but yeah, I've let go of a lot of fear, a lot of doubts, and yeah, I just feel very empowered to be who I am.
That's
Because yeah, because nothing tries to stop me. I'm still there.
I
Yeah.
believe you 100% because when I really seen the switch turn on, for me personally, would be Nobody's Man.
Yeah.
That's when I seen it went from the Little House on the Prairie to know, okay, here comes Sasha Fierce. She didn't fully come out yet, but here she comes.
No, nobody mind because no, I've been writing DJ for a while, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I never shared it with anybody. I was just always singing. Like I thought I had to be the singer, right? Um, but then yeah, I've just been writing DJs and not really airing it out. I remember one time I had written a DJ verse on a song that somebody asked me to feature on, but I ended up pulling away from the project because I was like, no, people aren't going to accept this. People aren't going to really understand what I try to do.
Mhm.
But yeah, with Nobody Man, I met JLL at a point. I was kind of just, as you said, beginning to really be all of who I am, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, and turn on the beat. I mean, I said, if you want love, it's a quick song. Honestly, the hook and everything was done by the time I left the studio. Um, but yeah, I was kind of just writing from my feelings at the time because everybody feels to me. I try to take them man for a reason. Man, and become interested in a married man. I'm interested in a boyfriend. I know my style that. You understand? Me need my own thing for govern, right? So yeah, so I was writing from the frustration of that because I ended up losing a very good friend of mine, right? Because his girlfriend was just like, yeah, I don't like, she don't like me and all the rest of it, which is like cool. But yeah, so I wrote from that frustration and then it ended up being received really, really well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So what came okay after Nobody's Man? Did Mango come or what came after Nobody's Man?
After nobody, man, Holland Pool.
Harlem, yes, that was
Yeah,
on the rock and groove rhythm there.
yeah. Holland Pool came next, and then the EP, Be Somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the first single that was released was
Mango. If
Mango.
you only
Okay.
knew. If you only knew.
Yeah.
If you only knew. Yeah. So if you only knew started before the project came out, and then on the day of the project we released Mango along with the project.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What I like with that song there, if you only knew, it's like a old school 70s, 60s style, but with
Yeah.
a modern feel to it. And
Yeah.
even the visuals itself, I think you shot them in Senegal.
Senegal and Jamaica, yeah.
Yeah. Senegal. Okay. I thought it was in actually Africa that you had
No, it
shot.
was. It was.
Mhm.
It was in Africa. Senegal in okay, so 80% of the music video was shot in Senegal,
Yeah.
Africa,
Mhm.
and 20% of it was shot in Jamaica.
Got you.
Yeah. No,
Because I thought you had said Senegal, Jamaica. I said, I've never heard of Senegal,
no
Jamaica
place
before.
no name Senegal and Jamaica. Come on.
Boss, I was just asking.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. And how did you come up with that song there?
That song I was just writing for my feelings about kind of declaring how far I'd go for people, for somebody that I love, because I was in love at the time. And I kind of, yeah, I was trying to reassure this man I was with that I'll go as far as I can go for you. So I said that's the origins of that song. But then shooting the video in Senegal and recognizing the connection between Jamaica and Senegal, it it evolved, right? The fact that the lyrics were how far I'll go for you, and just imagining how far Black people have been dispersed. It might sound like a reach to you, but for me it was very impactful because I'd never been to Africa before at all, right? And yeah, just seeing how, yeah, different Black people live without too much influence from the West, it was incredibly impactful, even though it was hard on my digestive system being there. But yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah,
it was a powerful experience. So it kind of evolved the meaning of if you only knew.
definitely. And when we spoke about this song here, this big, big song here, Mango.
Yeah.
Okay. That right there. How did that come around right there?
Again, this one now is if you know any Jamaican, right? So we love mango. Most Jamaicans love mango, right? And I will tell you, East Indian I'm a favorite, Julie I'm a favorite, John Bellyful, etc. My personal favorite is Julie, and it's the best one. And anybody who not like Julie as the first one is like them probably not have as good taste as I do, which is fine, and that's okay. Not everybody will have the best taste, but anyway, so yeah, again, I was kind of just likening the excitement that you feel for somebody when you're really starting to care deeply for them as loving mango. Because if I tell you I love you like mango, it's a different kind of love. Is what I say?
Yeah.
So that's what mango is about. And I wanted it to just be like a celebration and like a time of dance, just a moment of dance and just carefree and just enjoy yourself and just move. Is what I say? So yeah, that's what mango is. And then the video, I kind of just wanted to fulfill my fashion dreams with that video, honestly, because I always have a Pinterest board running for the different looks that I like, and then when I couldn't get to do my original concept for mango, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just have a lot of hair in the first scene then, or I'm gonna create this huge poofy dress, and I'm gonna have all these interesting creative styles, kind of just celebrating Black womanhood, but then also celebrating this, love and vibes that I was feeling for this one person. So
All right. And how did that? Because now you've gone completely, as I call it, quote unquote, Sasha Fierce. In this one, you went completely Sasha Fierce. How was that for you to actually put out something like that where they're not usually used to seeing you in that type of way there?
honestly, after Nobody Man and then them reacting to it and me realizing and me knowing that that's part of who I am, I was like, okay, there's no turning back. I'm gonna just do me, and that was on it. That was my whole approach to this EP. Be somebody. I was just being myself. I was just being myself in every way. I wasn't trying to make one song be more dancehall or this song be more soul or jazz or reggae or X or Y or Z. Because did I write music and then however the song turned out, I just tried to make it the best version of that song. You see what I say?
Mhm.
Because to be Jamaican and to be an artist is to kind of just express and create without the without the lines of boundaries. You see what I say?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that I think it was a couple days ago, you had said something like that on Twitter, where it's
Hmm.
almost like, I don't know if it would be a complaint or it was a statement where they're trying to put you in a box as a reggae artist, but you try to explain that that's not what you are. So could you please try to explain to me what type of, okay, I got a good one for you. If you went to the Grammys, all right,
Yeah.
what category would they put you in?
They'd probably put me in the reggae artist category
Hmm.
because that's all they know how to categorize Jamaican music. I think the nuance is lost on a lot of, especially foreigners as far as like how they view our music. But in actuality, Jamaica has created over 15 genres that they've lent to the world. You see what I'm saying? And for me saying that I want to be called Jamaican versus reggae is that I don't think that reggae sums up all of what my sound is. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to be a little bit more precise and nuanced about it, especially if I've gone through trying to explain that, hey, I have this kind of an influence, and I have this kind of influence, and I have this kind of influence, and you hear these influence very apparently in my music. I think it's a disservice to reggae to call something that is not reggae reggae. You know what I'm saying? For sure, there are reggae elements, and you'll hear it, but for the places where it doesn't fit, I don't know that it's the right thing. I don't think that's honoring reggae. I think I can honor being a Jamaican artist and representing my identity through that and be very strong and stern in that. But yeah, the other just being kind of just like, no, reggae, you see what I'm saying? Especially since it's not how I'm being received. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not fully how I've been received. Like if you ask somebody like what the sound is, they'll be like, oh no, but R&B, but you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if I am saying I am this, I'm a Jamaican artist, and then you hear the media kind of just keep saying reggae, 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 it makes me seem like I'm confused about what my sound is and who I am, which is something that I'm not right now, right? And something that I've been very careful to really express who I am. So I just want people hear when I say what I'm saying versus like, no, 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 whatever. It's easy. Like, reggae. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Yeah.
It makes total sense. Okay. So yeah, I like that part about you because I always wanted somebody to explain what their sound was, especially somebody like you, because you're right. You have the elements of reggae. You even play with it too when in not even the beat, in the words that you use. You like to play with it like that, but then you like to go in other places too. So that explanation there is probably one of the best explanations. I think the genre that you're going into doesn't even have a name yet. And it's not even going to have a name until one day somebody makes up a name for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I feel personally.
Yeah.
Oh,
All we know is that it's something to be celebrated, and it doesn't have to be one thing because people expect a certain thing in reggae. You see what I
mhm,
say? And
mhm.
if me that may I call myself reggae, and I understand that the genre is evolving and exploding in a way, but as it's understood, no,
Mhm.
it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be categorically correct, I feel. But
I could understand it.
we'll see. Yeah.
I get that. All right, let's go to about two more songs on this crazy, crazy EP here. Be Somebody. All
Yeah.
right. How did you come up with that one there? And the visualizer, what I like with the visualizer, I think if you look at it, it's really a 10-second or 15-second loop that's on
Yeah.
repeat for the entire song, but
I
it's
know.
just keeps you there.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
appreciate that. Thank you. No, yeah, I kind of just want for the visualizers that you see for Be Somebody, I wanted to kind of pluck a moment of building the EP and just have that moment be on repeat. Yeah, I was hoping people wouldn't get annoyed or it would make them like, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm glad that you like it. But yeah, the name Be Somebody, it really came from me examining the song Be Somebody that's on the EP. Big up
Mhm.
Charlie and Benji, they're the producers out of London. Um, and yeah, I wrote the song, and then like months after that, no, start realizing, oh, I'm gonna write something named Be Somebody. before, like so long ago, when I was like 14, right? Which is a while ago. Like,
Mhm. 3 years
I
ago,
don't know.
3 4 years ago.
No, no. Yeah, no. I remember that I wrote some. So I went on Facebook. Long story short, I went on Facebook and I looked through my notes because I was like, no, but they published something like this back then in that time, and I ended up finding the piece of writing. It was a like a come I used to just write things and just post it on Facebook, right? So the thing was called the piece was called "Be Somebody Now," right? And at the time I was talking about how I didn't have a lot. I was in poverty and my shoes are tear off and everybody thinks I'm gonna have nothing and everybody thinks I am nothing, but I am somebody. It was me declaring that I am somebody, right? Um yeah, so when I kind of realized that, oh wow, you wrote something that was called Be Somebody before, and here you are with this song, it felt like a full circle moment. And then that's when I was like, that's the name of the EP. I have to name the EP that because it felt incredibly fated. Just the fact that I was able to create the music sounding like it sounded without any kind of like me trying to make it any, you know, make it more this or more that or you see what I'm saying? So it felt fated, and I was like, all right, well, I hear you. I'm gonna name the thing Be Somebody. I was kind of just being obedient at that time.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, now this is my favorite song on
Yeah,
the EP. We're
yeah,
talking about "Blessed." All right, this is my song here, and I know the visuals just dropped about. I
yeah,
think it was like about 4 days ago or something like that.
yeah,
All
not
right,
too, yeah, couple days.
let's talk about that because let me tell you, in that one, there is where I really discovered your range. You went from here to right up here vocally. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
let's talk about how did that come around and what zone were you in when you even decided to put that together and show everybody that listen, I really sing.
yeah. Honestly, it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to show people that I really sing. I wanted to kind of just honor my relationship with God. Right? It's a 4 year long relationship now,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I would just not be the person that I am sitting before you today, as fearless as I am, and vulnerable and strong seeming. I don't know how people see me, but whatever, whoever you think I am, who is inspiring or whatever,
Mhm.
because of Jesus, because of God, right? So I wanted to create a song that celebrated that, and I almost didn't even put it on the EP. Yeah.
What?
No, because the version that you hear,
Mhm.
Izzy had just given me the demo version of the beat, right? So I never even have the full beat yet. So I wrote the song and then I was like, it feels honestly like a celebration. I'm a love gospel music from ever since we love gospel, even before me start really like try having a relationship. Because as you know, like your personal relationship with God is really what counts, right?
Mhm.
So even before that, so I was just like, I was wrote the first word, why you believe me? Try to my best for a purpose, which is the truth. Like I've always tried to stay on the path of purpose,
Mhm.
right? There are things that pull me left and right, but I always try to make my way back, right?
Mhm.
Um, yeah, at the end of by the end of it, after the chorus, I was just like, no, me just feel like many figures get out. You know them way there? Yeah, listen to Tamila Man and them people and Yolanda Adams and them just get away. But they just feel like I felt like that was a natural like trajectory of the song. So I was just like, let me just again be obedient to where the song is taking me. And that's how I ended up with the God, it calls me, that wasn't the best version of it, but yeah, I kind of just yeah, I wanted to kind of follow the path of the song, if that's, I don't know how that sounds, but yeah.
I but I understand you. You have to understand music is a spiritual thing. Wherever this spirit leads you is where you have to go to get this perfect sounding thing, which is music.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
I understand the visuals. How did you come up with the visuals? Because I know you were either the editor. No, you weren't the editor. You were the
I was
director in that one.
creative director, and editor for it. Like I shared all the roles with, except shooting it, because I didn't shoot any. Actually, I did shoot a bit of it too. The walking, like the horse shot, because I
Mhm.
had a stand-in for me. It's like a little part, but I mean, big up to Yarm Savion. He really shot like 99.9% of the video.
Yeah.
Like a talented, brilliant director, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, we kind of just split all the roles and all the looks that you see. Like I styled myself, the makeup I did myself, like everything was kind of just a two-man thing in like every way.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So what the meaning of the video now is really just telling my own spiritual journey, right? I didn't always have a connection with God, and I thought that I was okay. I didn't realize how unprotected and how uncovered or how like lost I was until my whole life was interrupted by a traumatic event. I would get into it, but like, boy, it would
Yeah.
have been a hell of a story right now for going on. One day though, I will share it because it
Okay.
is a key part of my testimony. But anyway, so yeah, so a life event, a traumatic life event interrupted my whole thing, what I had going on. And that kind of forced me to dig deeper than I've ever digged in my whole life. Right. And in doing that, like I honestly felt the hand of God on me, right? Where it's kind of like I felt at the time very useless, hopeless, just in despair, like at the middle rock bottom, right? Rock bottom. Okay. And I will never forget having all of those things, like those feelings of uselessness and hopelessness, just like pulled up out of me, my muscle, and replaced with peace. This may I say so?
Mhm.
Yeah, you never know. You never realize how lost you are until you come to that moment. And then after that moment, though, you find out more about yourself, how you're supposed to be acting in accordance with. Um, and honestly, a lot of the fear goes away. A lot of the doubt goes away. You find that you're less easily pulled from one end to the other because you're rooted. You see what I say?
Mhm.
Um, so that's really what the video is describing. So I wanted to go into a wilderness kind of a scenery where you see me kind of living my everyday life like everything is okay, as if I'm gonna live in a middle of shock in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
And then that now becomes disturbed by me being watched,
Watched.
right, in the video. So that's fear. That's the introduction of fear until it comes to a point where fear invades the home that I'm in, which is why when you see the part when we start run now, the
Okay.
person that come from behind the door. So it means them find me live in the place now, right? Yeah. So that's when I end up running away from fear. And in my running away from fear and really realizing that, oh wow, I'm really vulnerable, really uncovered. I need to kind of just like get out of this and find something with more meaning to connect to. That's how I end up discovering the horse, which is my idea of like God's hand. You see what I say? So God always puts a hand in to like rescue you. And in my case, like depicted that with the horse out of nowhere, the horse, and then I get to like escape and run away. And then you see me like really at peace in the end by the lake where, I've found found out a lot more about who I am. So yeah, that's what bliss is. And I hope that it was, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I knew bits and pieces. I could figure it out, but what one part I knew 100% what it mean was when the horse just appeared out of nowhere where you're running away. I said, okay, I understand
Yeah.
100% what's going on
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that because I understand. Say some people might not really fully understand, but if you know, even if you're not really fully understand, me still want to just come up, get across the idea that it's a divine moment. You see what I say? Or an evolution. See what I
here.
say? Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Listen, I got two more questions for you before I got you out of here. Okay.
Okay.
I know you're an avid reader. Okay. What are you reading right now? What's on your list of?
Oh my God, I've been trying to finish. Honestly,
Mhm.
I know why the cage bird sings by Maya Angelou for months now.
Mhm.
Honestly, and then I also started another book. I can't remember the name of it, but it's about the history of prison imprisonment of Black people
Okay.
as well. Wow, none of them are right here for me to look at the names. And I was reading also the James Baldwin book, but as I said, like I've been in a moment of like picking up the book and then putting it down. And then when I'm on a flight or something, or when we get the vibes, we pick it up again and read. You know, um, yeah. But 3 different books, I guess, I'm reading at the moment.
Very, very good. And you could see that they're very deep books too. They're not just lovey-dovey fiction or whatever the case is, which is cool too, you know.
I don't like fiction. I don't actually read any fiction at all. It's always nonfiction, things to do with history or things to do with psychology.
Makes sense. Last question I have for you here. What's the best piece of advice Protoje has ever given you?
To just keep working, honestly. And it's not even something that he said. It's just with the way that he has continued to work and reinvent himself. That's been the greatest example of how you go about being an artist in Jamaica or an artist anywhere. Yeah. So that's honestly like something that he showed me by actually doing it. Yeah.
You're right. If anybody hasn't tell you, I got to tell you right now, your do-rag game is freaking on point. You hear me?
I appreciate that.
Definitely. I have one favor to ask you for. Before I get you out of here, can I get a piece of Blessed dumpling style?
I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Yeah. This is Sevana representing from Muscle Up Entertainment Report podcast. Tune in every time. Big up.
Bam, bam, bam. Excellent, excellent, excellent energy, excellent conversation. I can't wait for more and more stuff to come out of the camp right there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let me give you an outro and get you out of here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinemusichut.com.